and this is the first year where we're actually committing to our extended rules.
Of like just the top 5.
Yeah, so I'll go into that.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
I'll go into that in the beginning.
So like camera fades. Ken Burns.
Keep going.
Ken Burns style.
You're doing a bit.
It's slow zooming.
You're doing a bit. I'm trying to nosh on a fucking hangnail, and
God.
you stop when I'm like, clearly I got my fingers in my mouth.
I literally had to like wipe my nose because I just finished crying.
Wait, you were crying?
Yeah, I teared up. Just at the end. I was like, this movie doesn't even make me cry. And then right at the end, it got me.
I also figure we'll like...
What movie? Keep listening to find out.
S.
M.
Soup! Soup, soup! Soup, 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 soup. Did we just write a theme song in the moment?
Yeah, I think we're actually just never doing a cold open ever again.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SM Soup, the number one podcast with soup in the name but not on the brain. I am Spencer.
I'm Shelby.
And together, it is Movie Club.
Movie Club!
Together, we're here to take you on a journey through life's biggest questions, like, waiter, what was the best movie that was nominated for Best Picture in the year 2021?
Movie Club!
And waiter, did you remember... Waiter, come here, waiter.
Waiter, come back.
Waiter, I wasn't finished. Waiter,
can you get your manager?
do you remember when Will Smith smacked the shit out of Chris Rock? That was this one.
Wow, it was a big one.
Crazy.
The lady remembers.
You weren't even alive.
You weren't even a concept yet.
Grogu was alive, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's Movie Club, and so, Shelby, if the people at home don't know what Movie Club is,
Yeah.
let them know.
Movie Club is a club where we watch movies. Specifically, movies that were nominated for the Oscars Best Picture of the Year. Oscars? Yes. And we are going from 1975 to the most current year, and every 2 months, we random number generate that decides our next movie year that we watch. So we've done others, but this one was the year 20. Don't ask me what they were, but we're now doing 2021, which I don't want to hear shit because we had to rush and plan to watch 10 movies, and we don't have time to get into it because we had to watch 10 fucking movies. But if we had time, I would tell you how we very, very carefully planned, milady, get down, very carefully planned the past month and a half of our lives just so we could watch all these fucking movies. And now you might be asking yourself, Shelby, I thought you said you didn't have time to get into this, and that is correct. But second, yeah, was this homework we just assigned to ourselves and could have pushed off and done for a different month? Absolutely. But no, we committed. We wrote on every fucking day of our calendar if we were watching a movie, when we were recording, when other things were happening in our lives. The 3 things we do in life.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
Anyway, let's just get into it because we're going to talk about each of our top 5 favorite movies.
So the rules are... 5 movies, very easy to talk about.
Easy.
And to keep it, contained within hopefully an hour.
Sure.
10 movies, not easy.
A little insane.
So we came up with the idea that basically we would each come up with our 1 through 5, and we'd kind of compare, and I think I did a good job of making sure we don't know each other's order, which is good.
I think you did a great job.
Without, I didn't give you my 1 through 5 in order. I just told you in the order that we watched them, which ones were within my top 5.
Yep. We don't know each other's top 5.
Right.
We don't know which of the order of our top 5.
Exactly. So obviously there will be instances where you might have something in your top 5 that I don't. Mm-hmm. The idea is that we will make sure we cover each of our top 5s. It just so happens that this year our top 5s do contain the same movies.
And I'm gonna guess our ranks are the same.
They might be.
You think so?
I mean, statistically speaking, there's a decent chance, right? If, at the very least, we have the same movies.
I guess.
And there's only 5 options.
So we're going to talk about our top 5, which happened to match this year.
So no matter what, we're always going to talk about our top 5. So technically, in any given year, it would be crazy, but, Shelby's top 5 could have been what both of our bottom 5s this year, right? And mine could be the current top 5.
Right.
And so we would talk about all 10 then.
Right.
But the gist is that we would at least... The odds of that happening are very low.
Yeah.
So we would at least cut out some of the fluff.
Yes.
And then additionally, no matter what, again, doesn't count for this year. We will make sure we talk about the winner of the best picture. Again, odds are that should crack our top 5 at the very least. But if it doesn't, we would be sure to talk about it. Again, just so happens this year, Coda, which was the winner, does crack both of our top 5s.
Cutting the fluff, just what the Oscars should be doing with all these nominations. Bang. Got him. Got him.
It's funny because is it...
Sorry, I wanted to say it, but I didn't want to interrupt your explanation.
Was it this year? This current? No. There was a year that I was looking at that only 8 were nominated. And what was it? What movie was it? Interstellar. Interstellar wasn't nominated for Best Picture.
Oh, that's crazy.
And there were only 8 nominees that year.
That's insane.
And it's within obviously because there was 8.
Right.
It was after they did the whole thing where it's like, we could do up to 10.
Yeah.
And they chose to do 8 and did not include Interstellar.
That's bananas. That's actually insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
The
movies.
Yeah. Good.
For the year.
Yeah.
Were The Power of the Dog, Belfast, Dune, Nightmare Alley, Drive My Car, Licorice Pizza, Coda, Don't Look Up, King Richard, and West Side Story. Did I miss any?
That didn't sound like 10, but I think you got most of them. No, I think you did get to 10.
Pull out your fingers.
Said it so fast.
Pull out your fingers.
Okay.
Power of the Dog, Belfast, Dune, Nightmare Alley, Drive My Car, Licorice Pizza, Coda, Don't Look Up, King Richard, West Side Story.
That was 10.
Last thing I will say is that when we actually do our full rankings, because we will still rank from 10 to 1 for the year, if we want to give a quick sentence on all the ones that didn't crack, I feel like that would be the time to do it.
Sure.
But I think also it's perfectly fine if we don't feel the need to say anything.
A whole lot. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so of the movies, and again, we're just going in the order that we watched them. The first movie that was in both of our top 5s was Belfast.
Yep. Which really all-encompassing overview here from Google. A 9-year-old boy experiences love, laughter, and loss as he comes of age amid the music and social tumult of the late 1960s. Leaving out a lot of details there. Lot.
Where?
So, yeah, right. Like, where is it tumultuous in the 1960s?
Because easily you could say America. I know the movie's Belfast. So
yeah,
it's like in the name.
but like some people are dumb.
Us, are we?
Yeah, we're kind of dumb, okay?
Entire movie's black and white.
Is it? No, it's not. What? You just broke my brain. I was like, am I crazy?
Yeah, it is.
Shut up. Oh my god, it is. That's crazy. Okay. Wow, it is all in black and white. That didn't dawn on me until... That didn't dawn on me.
Yeah, it didn't track with you while you were watching it?
Nope. Okay, this movie, 1960s. I'm just so bothered there's so little information there. That actually does drive me insane. Belfast, Northern Ireland. Basically, there was a lot of turmoil between Protestants and Catholics. And still remaining heat, and it's very important to the history of Northern Ireland.
Because the Catholics were all like, "You're not real Catholics," to the Protestants, and the Protestants were like, "Catholic my balls."
Yeah, it's exactly what happened actually.
Yeah. And then they fought.
Ended with different communities kind of being sectioned into certain, like, oh, this one's where Protestants live, this one's where Catholics live. There was obviously a lot of like hate between the two of them, between certain groups, violence, etc. etc. But we're seeing all this through the...
Isn't that so silly?
We're seeing... So Belfast is from the viewpoint of what they say he was, like an 8-year-old
9-year-old?
boy.
You got it.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Now I'm being given too much information.
Shout out Wikipedia!
Yeah. 9-year-old, yeah. And so this is all like through the viewpoint of like a 9-year-old boy experiencing this. And kind of like his street was supposed to be the one street where both of them could live. Both Catholics and Protestants could live. And there's not a problem. And then there is a problem. And it's like, what are we going to do? This movie is so good. Like, first off, this is probably so diminishing. But wow, the dad being Christian Grey, 10 out of 10. That's so diminishing to him as an actor. I'm so sorry, but it's just really funny. When you said that, I was like, now I can't unsee that.
Yeah.
So that was funny. Unrelated to the movie, but funny. This movie made me so sad and all the things. It's like beautiful family unit amidst obviously like a very like well yeah, not perfect family unit, but overall like beautiful family connections.
Yeah.
Like and just like wanting community and being connected to your community and kind of having to decide like what's best for your family in a time that's like scary and uncertain and all of those things. And just a kid not knowing what's going on.
I think that's like the great thing, and like so many of these movies hit really well when they're done in this manner. But like when it's done through the lens of like what the child is experiencing,
right? And
so you're in the moment, like you understand what's happening,
right?
But the child is constantly like, I don't really get why this is happening, and like that child, like. What is that? That innocence, is like captured really well in this movie.
I agree.
Dad is kind of like a piece of shit. Might be a little harsh, but like he's
not as involved. He's as kind of a
deadbeat, like in some ways, and like. But to the kid, every time they're interacting, he's a fucking rock star,
right? Like he's the best.
He's Dad.
Yeah, Dad's home. Dad's so fun and exciting. He always brings a toy.
Exactly.
He's the best. Like, he always has great stories and we have fun.
But yeah, like you're like watching the struggle of like different just adult issues.
Yeah.
Like from like his parents. Mm-hmm. And like he's there for all of it. He's got no idea about any of it. Like
the complexity of whatever everyone's experiencing.
Really good. Really, really like just a beautiful film.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
I'm trying to think if I have anything else. No, I think I basically touched everything. I said basically great pacing as well. Has a lot of moments that like
just very heart touching.
Like there are a lot of moments where you find yourself like kind of smiling.
Yes.
Because of like
you feel every emotion they're feeling.
Just like how beautiful it is to like bask in the innocence of a child.
Like there's a lot of emotion, and not because it's like devastating, like parts of it are upsetting, but also parts of it are super happy, and like you feel every emotion like to the T that they're trying to get you to feel it, in my opinion.
Really,
and
really good
I really enjoy it, and I feel like most people could really enjoy this movie.
Definitely.
Just feels good, like just hits your heart, you know?
And also like it was all black and white. I know that didn't register with you.
It didn't register with me. I didn't know where I was.
Pretty great. All right. Next up is, unless you had anything else for Belfast, next up is Dune.
Oh, okay. Does anyone need a synopsis on Dune?
Timothy Chalamet.
I think we all need just an explanation of what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to say these names wrong.
So there's guys.
Paul Atreides, a brilliant... is that how you say it? Atreides? Mm-hmm. Atreides. A brilliant and gifted young man born into a great destiny beyond his understanding must travel to a dangerous planet in the universe to ensure the future of his family and his people. As malevolent forces explode into conflict over the planet's exclusive supply of a precious resource in existence,
Spice.
Only those who can conquer their own fear will survive. Wow, Belfast got a sentence, and that got a lot more.
9-year-old Paul
has no idea what he's doing.
You're probably wondering how he got here.
So let's talk about Paul.
Let's talk about Dune.
Let's talk about Paul.
This is our second time watching Dune, so it kind of actually is maybe saved a little bit
and
cracks our top 5 here because it was our second time watching it. Because I don't think going off of our first watch it would have made it.
It would have been close, but yeah, I don't think it wouldn't have gotten.
I don't know for me.
Yeah, I don't know.
It might have.
The first one was rough. We both were like, we don't get it, which that's fine. Like, you don't have to get everything.
I still don't necessarily like
correct
get it.
Yeah, but I'm more into it.
I'm
into watching the second one now.
And also, I definitely felt this the first time watching it. But the second time watching it, what the fuck is that cast?
I know.
Just stupid.
Ridiculous.
Just stupid. What a stupid cast. And honestly, like all the performances are like good. Like
Yeah.
pretty to really good.
Yeah.
I think, and I know we've just come around on Timothée Chalamet.
Like
I
just
think
like a few weeks ago.
he's not the best part of that movie.
No, I agree.
I think Dune is part of the reason why I felt so negatively towards Timothy.
Yeah.
I came back around on the second watch
Sure.
and felt, okay, like maybe I was a bit too harsh, but I still don't think that he is the best performance in that movie.
I'm about to say something that might make a lot of sense or zero sense. I feel about Timothée Chalamet in Dune, aka Paul, how I felt about Frodo the first time I saw The Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
What a bitch. Not in the same exact sense, but I'm like, dude, you're just like sulking in the corner. I don't care. And that's on the story.
Well, fix your
that's
face.
not on Paul.
Fix your fucking face.
That's not on Timothy.
Also, Paul. That's
Paul,
the best name.
I know, the name drives me crazy. Like, and then that again, that's on the story. And I haven't read the book, and I don't care to. So like, whatever. I don't get it, and that's fine. I don't need to get it. So anyway, much better on the second. I do think like
anyway,
we needed the context of kind of what we were getting ourselves into to then be able to like actually take it in the second time, because it is a lot of just like what the
which that should maybe
going
technically
on.
Work against it.
I agree that should work against it. Again, people love it, and that's great. A lot of people don't, and that's fine.
I also felt
I don't
like
really
the
have
first
anything
time,
else to say about it.
I just felt like the first time watching it, it felt so incredibly long to me. But this time watching it, it felt like paced fine.
I agree. And but did that work because we kind of knew what we were getting ourselves into?
Maybe. Hey, maybe.
I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. I do want to watch this. This doesn't matter to this, but I do want to watch the second one.
It does matter to this if we draw the year 2024.
Is that added yet?
To the list?
Yeah.
No, because the Oscars haven't happened yet.
Oh, but I do still want to watch the second one regardless.
And I won't add 2024 until next year.
Yeah, I don't know. I could probably go into a whole like rant about Dune because I have thoughts, but it's not related to this. So I don't really have anything else to say. It's very beautiful. Like, obviously, alien world, beautiful, like all that. Like, it's stunning. I can only imagine what the budget was. The cast is ridiculous. The acting's ridiculous. The action's pretty cool. And
the rules of the
it's so
universe are
disappointing.
weird.
The rules of the universe are a little odd, but then you see Zendaya pop in and out, and you're like, "Oh, I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay." And that's Dune.
That's Dune.
I think I just summed up the whole movie. Next one?
Next up is Drive My Car.
Oh my god, okay.
Drive My Car. Drive My Car.
Guys, you're not ready for this one. An aging, widowed actor takes a directing job in Hiroshima where he's required to get a chauffeur for insurance reasons.
Is that it?
No, but that's just a really funny sentence. He hires a 20-year-old girl, and despite their initial misgivings, a very special relationship develops between the two. These are odd overviews.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like that makes you assume too much.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
They don't really...
It's really, like, it is about them, but it's not about them.
Yeah, like... I'm trying to think. That makes it sound like Scent of a Woman.
Yes.
That makes it sound like these two do not like each other, but they're forced to spend so much time with each other. They continuously talk to each other.
Yeah.
And eventually...
They become friends.
At least have a mutual understanding of why they are the way they are.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you don't get there with this, but like...
It's a lot of
it's not like
mutual indifference.
It doesn't beat you over the head with their interactions.
Right.
If anything, it's solely focused on the actor and how he's dealing with the death of his wife, this like new job.
Yeah.
And really all of the in-betweens of that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of feel like that
the
makes
driver is really such, like, when you're watching it, such an underlying storyline that in the end you're like, oh, they do like come together, like in there again, a mutual understanding kind of way, but it's like really, it's not.
They realize they have like so many similarities between the two of them once they start to open up to each other and stuff like that. But it
takes like most of the movie to get to that.
Yeah,
like most of the movie, like that's only the last like.
But that's also not from like a. That's not even from like a pulling teeth sort of thing.
No,
he didn't want a driver.
Right.
Then they were like, you have to have a driver, and then that was it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like every time he was in the car, he was like, I fucking hate you, I fucking hate you, I fucking hate you, crash the car, crash the car, crash the car, crash the car.
Yeah. No, he literally just
he
like...
just did his thing.
He did his thing and she did her thing. She was hired to do her job and he just was like trying his best to kind of not act like she was there for a while, just to be like, I'm just in my car.
Yeah.
Yeah. This movie is in Japanese, correct?
Yes.
So the whole thing, if you're trying to watch it in English, is subbed, has subtitles, so you have to read. Reading. So obviously, one, if you've just never experienced that, just putting that out there. I think some people haven't done that. I'm just like, I don't want to say like, go watch my drive my car.
Hey, if you haven't experienced reading before, get ready to.
No, I just think like, I don't
know how you got here.
I know you and I
don't know how you're listening to this right now.
Okay. The reason I'm saying all this is because...
What made you click on this? The visuals aren't that great.
The movie's kind of long. But when I tell you, you and I both stopped at 1 minute and we were like, we have never been more into a movie from like minute one. Like we have never been more like, oh my God, like I am in this movie. Like nothing else is drawing my attention from this movie. And yeah, we both were like, maybe that's helped because we had to read.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do another activity whilst watching a movie in air quotes. So maybe that was helped. But we both were like, holy shit, like the story is so interesting. The overall concept of what this actor is trying to do, very interesting. Like the layers of which you can get into this movie and talk about it and think about it and then like analyzing all the relationships of the characters is so good. Like I have not been, and I feel like you had a similar sentiment, so impressed and shocked at being impressed by a movie in like a while.
It's
not to have such an enjoyable experience like the whole time.
Not to give too much away.
Yeah.
I literally said to you, I was like, this is one of the best, if not best first watches I've ever had with a movie, or at least have had in a very long time.
Yeah.
That's not to say that it is the best movie of the year.
Right.
That is not to say like any of that. It's just the simple fact that like the first watch of this movie was so enjoyable.
Yes.
And just to get into it, it's a very minor spoiler, but the concept of what he's doing as the director role. So he was an actor. I can't remember why, but he decided to become a stage actor instead. And so then he was doing he was doing plays and stuff.
Yep.
And then he was specifically doing. I forget the play. God damn it.
like Uncle. I don't remember.
But anyway, the manner in which they did the play though was that everybody who performed in it spoke their native language,
which was like everyone was spoken different native language.
Yeah. So when he takes the director role and he's bringing people in, some people are speaking English.
Yep.
So that they could communicate to one of the other like board members or whatever, right? Because English is like a pretty constant language for most people. But they'd be like, but I'm going to do my part because my main language, my primary is Mandarin.
Yep.
So, the one person was like, I'm going to do mine in Mandarin. But she said it in English.
Yeah.
And then immediately goes into it.
Yep.
And so that meant that the actors in the play needed to know the cadence of each other's speaking and stuff like that so that they knew, because like one guy literally knew not a lick of Mandarin. He didn't know a lick of English.
Yeah.
Literally only knew Japanese.
Yeah.
And so he was constantly like clueless.
Yeah.
And there were times in the movie where they made you clueless.
Yeah.
And there were times in the movie where it was so cool. It was such a cool concept.
Yeah, the use of language
also sucked you in.
Yeah.
And then like the use of language in general was phenomenal. And there were parts of this movie where it got so quiet.
Yeah.
You could feel your heart beating.
Yeah.
And like it felt like you had to hold your breath. It was magical. It was so good.
Agreed.
Like, yeah, genuinely, like, could not recommend hard enough.
Yeah.
It is a very, very good movie. But yeah.
Also very, like, touching in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Like, all the relationships amongst the characters are, like, so interesting and, like, real and, like, complicated. And,
Yeah.
It's really freaking good. Like, it's good. It is long, but it's good.
Long, but good. Very worth it. All right, Shelby.
All right.
We're 3 movies down.
Yeah.
We got 2 more to go.
Yeah. Hit me with
Next
it.
up is Coda.
Oh, hell yeah.
Coda, the winner of Best Picture for this year. You got it?
I got it.
Okay.
Ruby is the only hearing member of a deaf family from Gloucester, Massachusetts.
Gloucester.
At 17, she works mornings before school to help her parents and brother keep their fishing business afloat. Haha. But in joining her high school's choir club, Ruby finds herself drawn to both her duet partner and her latent passion for singing. Wow, just really all the heartwarming stuff this year.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, like genuinely all the heartwarming stuff this year.
Yeah.
Coda is really freaking good. In case you don't know, CODA stands for Child of Deaf Adults, just in case, like, that's, like, why is it called CODA? Yeah, so as it literally says, the main character that you're following is the only hearing person of her family, and kind of, like, how she has to navigate that, and she's, like, about to graduate high school, and is trying to decide what she's going to do with her life.
Wants to live her own life. Feels like she's obligated to, like, be there for her family as the only person who can hear.
Yeah.
And that leads to this whole dynamic where it's like, well, obviously, if she wasn't around, they would just figure out how to, like
they'll have to figure
like
out
they would
how
have had to, right?
Without her,
but like they were able to kind of lean on her a little bit. So it was kind of this like mutual, like both sides needed to grow and understand and like realize that like
she needed to stand up for herself, and her family needed to realize like we can't depend, like you can't be our translator and our everything forever. Like you're 17, you deserve your own life. Also
a movie that utilizes sound in a fantastic way.
Fantastic. Like devastating manner.
There's one point where I mean, we get into spoilers on here, so I apologize. But Ruby decides to like join choir, and so her parents and brother, who are deaf, go to a concert, go to a school concert. Yeah, which is like
kind of the most insane thing,
right? Yeah. Like it's just like you don't think about these things, right? And obviously they're there to support her, which is fantastic, but. Like again, the movie does such a great job of like capturing that like they have no fucking clue what's going on. Like they're watching other people's faces, trying to key in their reaction. No basis of. They're
not close enough to read lips, so they don't know what anyone's saying on stage. Like it's like they're showing their perspective of it a little bit to be like, God, like we're trying to be here for our kid because we know we should be, but like this is fucking weird.
Yeah, there are so many. Just again, beautiful moments. Specifically, there are two moments. One of them is the concert where the movie goes completely silent. Completely silent. You can hear a pin drop. You can feel your heartbeat. You can all the things. Right? Feels like you can't breathe all of a sudden because you've just lost the sense. And the moment that they choose to do it. Specifically the one is so like powerful, such a beautiful movie. And it waits until about the last 20 minutes to just hit you over the head over and over again. They're just like cry.
They're like you know how they kind of been like buttering you up the whole movie to feel really emotionally attached to this family.
You felt it welling up a little bit earlier, but now cry. No, do it. Cry. Do it. You won't cry.
You do. You have no choice. It's really sweet, and also because again she's 17, going to college / debating what she wants to do. it's like got all the very prototypical, like, God, my parents are so
Teenage
embarrassing.
angst. Yeah.
Teenage angst, and my parents just make me look like an idiot in front of my friends, and that's all very funny too. Like, there's a lot of like good-hearted, like funny moments in it too that are very like prototypical high schooler in a movie. So yeah, it's like all around like a fantastic watch in my opinion.
I gotta say something.
Yeah.
And it's a big spoiler. So,
Okay.
Earmuffs for, I'm going to time myself.
Okay.
I'm going to wait until I see the 30 seconds, and then I'm going to take a full minute.
Okay.
And then we'll come back, okay?
Okay.
Starting now.
Yeah.
The scene towards the end when she's signing while singing
Sobbing.
is just so
Incredible.
spectacularly beautiful. Her dad, after the concert, wanted her to sing again. The original concert, that's during her audition. He wanted her to sing again so that he could feel her vocal cords.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then she's signing during her audition so that they can actually start to maybe understand a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so it just like makes you want to stop. And then the very last thing, which is again a major spoiler, is at the very end when the dad, the only time any of them speak, says go. And it makes you want to cry
It does
again.
make you want to cry again.
And in 4 seconds, we can be back to the regular scheduled program. Coda, it's very good.
Watch it.
100%
Watch
recommend.
it. I fully understand why it won Best Picture. I'm not gonna say that means I put it there. I fully
still have one more to talk about, so just hold on.
It's a beautiful movie.
Last but not least, for us to talk about in our top 5 is King Richard.
Armed with a clear vision and a brazen 78-page plan, I didn't remember it being 78 pages, Richard Williams is determined to write his 2 daughters, Venus and Serena, into history. Training on tennis courts in Compton, California, Richard shapes the girls' unyielding commitment and keen intuition. Together, the Williams family defies seemingly insurmountable odds and the prevailing expectations laid before them. Cannot believe it took us this long to watch this movie.
Yeah.
We've wanted to watch it. We kind of when it was in theaters, we're talking about it and just never got around to it. Wow. Again, all of them are going for the heart this year. All of the ones that we put in our top 5.
Which I think tracks for us.
That's true. It's just
Dune really went for my heart.
Yeah, Dune really made me feel things.
Really welled up.
This movie, I'm just gonna keep repeating the same stuff because everything is God, you just feel for the characters, you love them, you want them to succeed. There's so much growth, so many of these were family relations, however complicated and whatever they are, but pretty much in all the movies, all the characters want everyone to do everyone just wants everyone to do well, but families are complicated and humans are complicated and humans mess up. That's all the movies that we keep talking about. But I do think this movie was so beautiful. The family unit depicted in this was insane. Like how strong the family unit was so heartwarming to watch. I keep saying fucking heartwarming. I'm trying to think of other words. And I feel Will Smith was so freaking good.
Will Smith did a really good job.
Wow.
Playing Richard Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what I really enjoyed about this movie, so biopics are always tricky, right? Because obviously, you're sometimes going to want to put the magical spin on things.
Yep.
I question how squeaky clean the whole a 14-year-old just being forced into playing tennis and this is your thing and we're gonna keep doing it because you can be really good and all this stuff, and forced not being the right word obviously, because I will wholeheartedly believe that they clearly wanted to do it because they became the fucking best.
Yeah, right.
No,
I hear you though.
But that's just a thing in general with, I think, kids and overbearing parents and stuff like that. And,
Yeah.
And like,
I mean, literally, I don't even know at what point he like said something, and I went, "That's so much pressure." Like my heart was like, "Oh my god, that's
and
like a lot to put on a child."
There were times where I think they did a good job of kind of depicting him like a bit of an ass.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he is. I mean, he's like 80 something now, so you know, maybe he's not quite that level. But
sure.
So if this may go over your head, but he kind of is like a Lamar Ball character.
I went very over my head.
So if you follow basketball at all, there's the Ball family: Lonzo Ball, LaMelo Ball, LiAngelo Ball, and then their father Lamar or LeVar. Well, fuck. I think Lamar. And he's just like an ass. He's just like he just wants the camera on him and everything like that. He says super cocky things, but then his kids do go and play. Two of them at least play good basketball. One of them is like really good if he could be healthy.
Shit.
And that's kind of like Richard. Like he's kind of like, my kids are gonna be the best.
Yeah,
and then he's right.
And the extra thing that the movie really touches on is they're gonna be the best because I did that.
Yeah.
Which
100%.
is like a huge like theme and ego trip that's like handled in the movie.
Oh, 100%.
Because it's like we know without them being Serena and Venus Williams, we all know like growing up there was parents who were like, my kid's the fucking best. Like you just knew those parents without, you know, needing the whole actual like, oh shit, they were right. And that is like a lot. Like it's a lot to hear as like an outside party. It's a lot to like that's a lot of pressure on the kids. It's a lot, like it's just a lot, like it's just, and yeah, you sit there and you're like, is this ego? Like this has to be ego, right? Like even if his kids are great, like holy shit, we hear you, we see them, like it's just, it is dealing with like all of like the personality of that. But I do feel like, you know, whether obviously whatever's real and what's not, I don't know, but like I do think the movie like handles it really well with like being like, dude, like, I mean, honestly, if anything, I kind of laughed that at one point they get into an argument, the husband and wife, and the wife's like, I also was there. And I was like, we're also not saying the two girls who put all the fucking work in to being here. Like, right. I hear you. You two obviously did a lot. Like, it's no doubt. But I'm like, you also had two children who were doing all of the work to get here. So that kind of cracked me up where I was like, I don't feel like we're giving the children any credit for the work. Not any, but we're not giving them credit as well for the work they also put in, whether they wanted to every day and not. You know, kind of gets into that area, but that's fine. Like, I get it. It's complicated. And, you know, parents wanting the best for their kids and wanting better for their kids and, like, all of that. But it is all in all like a really beautiful story. Like
it's super,
because you do see, like, I feel like we're really hounding on that. You do see like growth, and you do see like we did all this work. It's a little bit of, it's not a spoiler because it's a fucking biopic, but like we did all this work and now it's like we're here, and it's like I did the work to get you in a better spot, and now I want you to be able to be a kid again.
Yeah,
and like that breaks everyone because they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? We did all this work so we could be the best. And he's like, you will be the best when you're done being a kid.
Right.
Like,
you still gotta go to school.
You still gotta go to school. You still gotta like go on vacation. You still gotta like have fun. And it's like, it just felt like before you were in a space where we couldn't do that freely and safely and like to the best of our ability. And like now we got you to a spot where we can, and now we be a kid. And I like, that is very like, that was like a very beautiful moment.
Also, one other thing that I imagine they really whitewashed intentional wording. Mm-hmm. Let's not like overshadow the fact that this was a black family.
Yes.
Playing tennis. In what, the 80s? 90s?
I don't know. Definitely 90s.
Right?
Definitely 90s. I would imagine.
Yeah, because Serena's like 40, or Venus, I looked it up, Venus is 44. And so she was 14. 44. So it would have been like the mid-90s. She was born in
1980.
Yeah, so it would have been like mid-90s.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a black family playing tennis, a predominantly white sport.
I mean, still. Yeah.
Right?
Right. I mean, they even say that in the movie. They're like, you haven't had the resources. You haven't had... Yeah. I know. I was really stressed every time they had one of the girls enter a match. I was like, oh my God, what's another fucking kid going to say? Like the stress was so high at the experience, like which I'm like would fully believe those happen.
Oh, 100%.
Without a doubt.
Just don't show it to me.
No, but like you're sitting there stressed the whole time, like, oh my God, what terrible fucking things can happen to this kid? This like, it's a fucking kid who just is trying to like do her thing.
100%. I think like it's like all of those things as well. Yeah. And again, I feel like they kind of downplayed it. Like they probably could have leaned a lot harder into it.
Sure.
And but
also like if they didn't want that to be the story,
whatever makes a good movie. Yeah. It was a good movie, like, right? A good movie. And yeah, I mean, I think it just did a really good job of kind of just laying out like the entire groundwork of everything and like what it took. Actually, makes you really like. It's another movie, like you said, like that makes you really emotional.
It does,
because it does a really good job of like spinning the tale.
Yeah, I will say I'm thinking about it, and we're sitting here and we're like, they really don't like they probably whitewashed it, they probably whatever. They again fully might have, obviously I don't know, but I will say in the like turn of that, like both the parents are like very much constantly like being very affirmative and being like, you realize like you stepping out on this stage, this televised stage, you're so much more than just a player, like, which is pressure, but it's also like awareness of like kind of the shoes they're walking into.
Oh, I'm not saying that they overshadow.
No. Right. I'm just saying like I
just felt like
that was what they were trying to do, is just like show the like we knew what was happening, but we don't want to like focus on that in the movie.
100%.
Obviously, like I feel like that came
they showed one
instance
instance where a girl lied about the ball being out.
Yeah,
and like it's just like no shot.
You're like, that happened a lot more than one time. Yeah,
and like not that I need to see like an altercation or anything like that, but like it was like that, and then like that was really the only like that was like the biggest roadblock,
right?
Of like prejudice that you like that you're faced with during the movie, and again, totally fine. And I thought like the movie did a good job of, Richard's character, again, assuming that this is probably exactly how he was, because I wouldn't doubt it, is, like, really funny.
Yeah.
Not intentionally.
No.
He's, like, just a dad.
He's such a dad.
And, like, so he does and says shit that is funny. Again, not intentionally.
Yeah.
But so, like, the movie, again, like, there's just so many emotions that you feel during this movie.
Yes.
And again, really good.
Really good. They're all pulling at your heartstrings this year.
A lot of heartstring pullers.
Heartstring pullers. Should we go through our listing from 10 to 1? And if we want to say anything else about any of these other movies, we can?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. No, coming in at number 10.
Number 10 on the count of 3.
1, 2, 3.
Nightmare Alley. Okay, I don't know if we should do this every time, though, because, like, what if we actually don't have the same one?
That's fine. We can do whatever we want to do. I was just going to say, don't waste your time on this movie. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, shouldn't have been nominated.
No, it should not have been. I'm assuming it's just because from the cast alone it got nominated.
You didn't need 10. And it was Guillermo del Toro.
It was Guillermo.
I'm guessing
that
helped a little bit.
About that.
All right, number 9.
Number 9, Power of the Dog.
Power of the Dog.
Also, meh.
It got 12 nominations this year. Number 8. I'll go
sorry.
First.
Go ahead.
I kind of have a tie.
I know. This was a hard one for me.
All right. You were going to say Licorice Pizza, so I'll say Licorice Pizza as well.
You don't have to.
Assuming that your number 7 is?
West Side Story.
West Side Story. Okay, cool.
Those
Licorice
two
Pizza,
were really hard.
Right, I agree. I think they were both really close.
Yeah.
Licorice Pizza is good.
It's fun.
It's definitely like a good movie and like it's a good vibe if you're looking for a groovy 70s movie, right?
Yeah, like literally if you're like, this is gonna be maybe an out there. If you're like, oh my god, Stranger Things, it just like puts you in an era. It just like the soundtrack, the vibes. This is not that.
It's not horror,
but
scary, but
it's like so 70s. Like it's so 70s, and it's like summer fun and like where are everyone's parents?
Yes,
I don't understand.
And then West Side Story. Little fun fact: West Side Story is my favorite musical, and I do not think this is a great adaptation.
No.
And I think watching it, I was like, maybe West Side just should be on a stage.
Yeah,
maybe
I
it just
get
works
that.
on a stage. But people say the 1960s release.
Really?
That was a film.
Yeah.
I think our friend Brock was saying that one's really good. So I might need to watch that.
I did enjoy the second watch better than the first, but still I think it's pretty mid.
Agreed.
But I did like sometimes in movies, like I love obviously with musicals, like the filming that can be done during certain choreography is very fun.
Yeah, see, I don't think any of that's like really good.
Oh wow, I just really like the freaking detective. What's his name? Like when they're sitting in the precinct.
Oh, Officer Krupke.
Officer Krupke.
Yeah.
I just love how that's done. I think that's really funny. But I think I could
do that on a stage.
Exactly. I think I could get just as much out of that on a stage. It just was fun, but. Yeah, you're right.
Honestly, a lot of the fighting in the movie, now we're diving a little too much into it, but a lot of the fighting in the movie feels like stage fighting, which does not work in a movie, but does work on a stage.
Yeah, I kind of I agree with what you're saying.
And another thing.
Yeah, go for it. Hit me with it.
All right.
We do have a lot of thoughts on West Side Story.
I do. All right.
Honestly, we could probably do a whole episode on musical to movie adaptations.
We could probably.
We have to be a little selective.
The thing that I think annoys me.
Okay, hit me with it.
And this is going to be a boomer ass take.
Oh no.
Is that Steven Spielberg and whoever else worked on it definitely tried to modernize a lot of things.
Yeah.
Can appreciate that.
Yeah.
A little weird because the movie takes place in the past.
Yeah.
So
when was that, the 80s?
50s?
Why did I say
I think it's the 50s.
You're definitely right. The dresses alone, I should have been able to guess that.
So
I'm so sorry.
And like, listen, nobody's woker than me. Okay?
Nobody?
But like, you just didn't need to do it with a lot of the things.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So they choose to modernize some things and like be so like
up to date,
progressive, but then they still have the misogyny, borderline rape scene towards the end, which is one of my least favorite things about West Side.
Die watching that.
Again, love West Side, but I hate that part of it.
Scene is so unnecessary. I should say so. It's unnecessary the length at which they had to go, where it's like it's already a room of like 8 boys to like 1 woman, and it's like
it's
you all can feel the vibe. Yes. You can feel the vibe without having had to like do a single thing. And like, yeah, I hate that. It makes me want to die. Like, I hate like I'm getting
which I think is supposed to invoke a reaction out of you. But it's just crazy that again you do all these progressive things and then you still make that scene, and also it's longer than it needs to be. It's so long,
yeah.
Anyway,
like you could have again read the room without, like you could have achieved that messaging without having gone to the extent.
Number 6.
Also, I have so much to say about West Side, which, again, I don't know the play that well, so I might just be saying, like, the wrong things. The non-gender conforming character, the amount we focus on them, which is, like, totally fine. Like, I'm okay if they're, like obviously they're a part of the story.
The problem is...
But, like, what? What? Like, what? Like, you're just, like, making me want to die on their behalf the whole movie.
Also, I'm not the guy who's going to be, like... you forced that in here. But in a way, this is one of those moments where I'm kind of like, you kind of forced that in there. And then the character's just a fucking punching bag.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's not even like nothing's achieved by the end.
So, like...
Except they, like, kind of accept them. Kind of. And then they disband 10 minutes later anyway, thus defeating the point of accepting them.
It just
like,
really...
Yeah, like, they show us their facial reaction, like... throughout the movie, and they show us them sneaking around, and they like, we get it, they're tagging along, like I can remember that from the play, but it's like it's just such a focal point of the movie, and I'm like, are we gonna give this person like any like retribution? Like, are we gonna give this person anything? Like they're even like, I forget the Tony. They're even like, Tony said I can do it, and it's like we never see Tony stick up. Like, which again, if that's not on the play, that's not on the play. But it's like we focus on them so hard in the movie, and you give them fucking nothing. You give them absolutely nothing. Anyway, number 6.
If you've been keeping up, obviously, there's only one movie left, which is Don't Look Up.
It is Don't Look Up. Yeah, could have cracked the top 5. I don't know. It
was fringy. It was close.
But these other ones are just good. Too good.
Which takes us into our top 5.
Yes.
Shelby, I've been making you go first a lot, so I will go first here. Number 5, I put Dune.
Ooh, very interesting. Very interesting.
What do you have?
This is going to be so controversial with all the words we just said. I put King Richard. Number 4?
Number 4.
Yeah.
I put King Richard, but it is closer to 3 for me than it is to 5.
Interesting. I put Dune in number 4.
Okay. We're back on track.
We're back on track. We're going to be okay.
All right, number 3.
Coda.
Wow.
I know.
That's crazy. Shelby, that means...
You're about to be so disappointed in me.
That means one of your top 2
Yeah.
is a movie that you didn't realize was in black and white.
That's correct. Sometimes life surprises you.
I really hate you. I really hate you,
Sometimes
dude.
you learn something new about yourself.
Number 3 for me is the black and white film, Belfast. All right, number 2.
You're going to be so mad at me.
What's your number 2?
Drive My Car.
That's fucking insane. You're an insane person. Number 2 for me, and when I tell you that this is neck and neck, so like,
I'm hot.
Belfast and King Richard are close for me.
Yeah.
Number 2 and number 1 are like so clear.
Yeah.
The top 2.
Yeah.
And it is not clear which one is first for me.
I
If I
get
had to give a tiebreak, I'm going to give the tiebreak to the Best Picture winner.
Sure.
So my number 2 is Drive My Car.
Yeah.
But it is a dick hair.
Yeah, I hear
That's
you.
how close it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which means number 1 for me was Coda, and for you was Belfast.
Yeah.
You fucking psychopath. I don't even want to do this with you anymore.
Oh my god.
I don't even want to be around.
That was all it took?
Oh, you're insane. You're insane. My god.
But all, like, truly, Belfast through Coda, for me, are all, like, very, very, very close.
Yeah.
And then Dune and King Richard are pretty close for me. Like, I could probably be convinced to, like, swap a few of those around. And then, yeah, and then we basically both were like, Don't Look Up is, like, right there. Like, there were too many other good movies that made it out. And then it's kind of a pretty good drop in quality.
Pretty good drop. Like, pretty good drop from Don't Look Up to
West
Licorice
Side.
Pizza and West Side.
Yeah.
I would say are pretty close.
Yeah.
And then another pretty good drop
Good
before
drop.
Power of the Dog and and
Nightmare Alley.
whatever the last one was. All right, let's get into my favorite part.
Oh my god, I can't wait, guys.
Here are some of the other major awards.
Oh, this wasn't what I was excited about.
Oh.
I was excited about hearing our next year.
Best Picture, we just went over. Coda won. Best Director, the nominees were Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog, Kenneth Branagh. I always forget how to pronounce his name. He's Perot in The Murder on the Orient.
Perot.
Yeah, exactly. It's that guy. He's the one who did Belfast.
Oh.
Ryusuke Hamaguchi, I hope I said that right, for Drive My Car. Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza. And Steven Spielberg for West Side Story. 3 of those I can get behind for Best Director. I guess maybe, I don't know. Steven Spielberg's on there because he's Steven Spielberg in my opinion.
I'm actually a little shocked Adam McKay didn't get on there.
A little bit. Power of the Dog ended up taking that one.
That's
for Best Director.
Interesting.
It is a little interesting. I don't know if I would agree with that. Best Actor, we had Will Smith, who won for his portrayal as Richard Williams. Are you okay?
Yeah, yawn.
Oh. Other nominees were Javier Bardem in Being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch in The Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield in Tick, Tick, Boom, and Denzel Washington in The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Like, why wasn't Tick, Tick, Boom up there?
Yeah, Tick, Tick, Boom better than West Side.
Way better than West Side.
Yeah. Benedict Cumberbatch did have a good performance. That is one thing I could say about Power of the Dog, but Will Smith is clearly the best of these that we've watched at least.
Like, it was just like the story of The Power of the Dog was like, meh.
Best Actress. We didn't watch any of these.
Oh, wow. I'm shocked that what's her name from Nightmare Alley didn't get on there.
Jessica Chastain, Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Kate Blanchett and Don't Look Up. She could dominate the hell out of me. Best Actress, Jessica Chastain won for her performance in The Eyes of Tammy Faye, but then, again, like, we didn't watch any of these.
Yeah.
Olivia Colman in The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz in Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman in Being the Ricardos, and Kristen Stewart in Spencer. None of those movies were nominated for Best Picture.
That happens so often.
Women. Am I right?
Yeah, am I right?
Best Supporting Actor, Troy Kotsur in Coda. He was the dad.
Oh, cool.
Syrian Hinds in Belfast. He is the, like, grandfather.
Oh, he was so good.
Very
I
good.
loved the relationship with the grandparents.
Jesse Plemons in The Power of the Dog. J.K. Simmons in Being the Ricardos. Being the Ricardos up here a lot. Not nominated for Best Picture. And then Cody Smith McPhee in Power of the Dog. Troy Kotsur.
Is that the son?
Yeah, I believe so. Troy Kotsur, again, won Best Supporting Actor. Yeah, I'm good with that. For Coda, the dad in Coda?
Absolutely,
okay.
yeah. Sorry,
Your face went fucking blank, and you were like, wait, Belfast was in black and white? That picture you just showed me was in color. You're fucking
yeah,
dense.
Coda, I thought he did. I mean, I thought they all did really well, but I was a big fan of his character, so all for it, if you ask me.
And then Best Supporting Actress, Ariana DeBose as Anita in West Side Story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maria?
No. That would have been Best Actress,
right.
not Supporting.
Sorry.
Maria's brother's wife. What is the brother's name? Holy shit, we just watched it.
Marco?
No. You racist piece of shit. Bernardo. Bernardo's wife, Anita.
Yeah.
She won Best Supporting Actress.
Wow.
Other nominees were Jesse Buckley in The Lost Daughter. Again, didn't watch. Judi Dench in Belfast. Kirsten Dunst in The Power of the Dog. And Anwane Ellis Taylor. Anwane Ellis. One thing has it hyphenated, the other doesn't. In King Richard as the mother, which she was very good.
She was very good.
Honestly, probably would give it to her.
Yeah, of all the people you just said. Although the mother in Belfast was also really good.
The mother in Belfast was not nominated.
Oh, I thought you just said the mother
I said
in
Judy.
Belfast.
No. What? Did I? I said Judi Dench from Belfast.
Who is that?
Granny.
Oh. Gotcha.
Who's Judi Dench?
Yeah.
Fuck you. I'm sick and tired of it. We're done. It's canceled.
All right, what's our next year?
It's over. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore because you fucking forgot that your favorite movie of the year was in black and white. Which maybe that's a big old plus for the movie. It gets you to suspend your belief and it takes you on such a journey that you don't even recognize color anymore. It solved your racism problem. Shelby, our next year, drumroll please. You have to do it vocally. It's not gonna. I doubt your mic is picking that up. You're just getting Milady excited.
Well,
yeah, you go like.
I can't do that. You're just getting Milady excited.
She's only excited because you're excited. 2003. Woo! The winner of 2003 was The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. Other nominees include Lost in Translation, Master and Commander: The Far Side of the World, Mystic River, and Seabiscuit. 5 movies. However, because there's a sequel, we will be watching Fellowship and Two Towers for Lord of the Rings. Because I think it is important. We kind of went back and forth on this. It's important to know the fucking story. Mm-hmm. But the movie needs to be somewhat in a box. Does it stand on its own for the most part, outside of the fact that like you do need story, but like you you're not saying that Return of the King, which ended up winning, right? You're not saying it deserves to win because Fellowship was so fucking amazing.
Right.
And Return of the King isn't only good because Fellowship was so good, right? That's like the important distinction. It's a little convoluted, but I think it makes sense, at least for us.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense. You're going to hear me talk about Lord of the Rings
She'll be
for
so biased.
45 minutes. I'm going to be so biased. No, I think Seabiscuit's got a chance. I'm really excited. I've never seen Seabiscuit. It's going to be so good.
Yeah.
And that episode will be out this February, or April, end of April. The last Monday of April.
Correct.
Will be the 2003
Our dog is real annoying.
Best Picture nominees, where Lord of the Rings won.
Hell yeah.
Until then, let us know if you've seen any of these, if you agree with Coda being the best, if you remembered that Belfast was in black and white, or like don't say anything, that's fine too. Both of our socials are in the description. You can find SMSU Podcast on all podcast streaming services, including YouTube. And I had a saying I was going to start saying.
Until next week, stay brothy.